Have you ever noticed that one friend who seems to exist entirely off the digital grid? No selfies, no vacation updates, no curated galleries of their best moments. In an era where attention is the ultimate currency and social media is a perpetual stage, these people can almost seem like a mystery. Some might assume they are shy or perhaps a bit antisocial, but psychology tells a much deeper story. Choosing to remain invisible online isn't a sign of being broken. It is actually a revealing look at a specific type of emotional intelligence and mental strength. Today, we are going to decode the psychology of the people who don't post their photos and why their silence might be their greatest superpower. They possess a high privacy orientation. For these individuals, life is not a performance intended for a public audience. Psychologists have found that people who rarely share personal images value control over their narrative more than they value external attention. They are not avoiding people. They are protecting their mental space. They understand that once a photo is shared, the interpretation of that moment no longer belongs to them. By keeping their life private, they ensure that their memories remain untainted by the opinions of strangers. This is a subtle sign of inner security. While most people seek validation through likes and comments, they rely on self-validation. They don't need to announce their life to feel good about it. They have a high degree of self-concept clarity. Research on self-concept shows that people who share less online often have a very stable sense of who they are. They know their values, their goals, and what truly matters to them without needing external approval. They don't need a feed full of comments to tell them they are successful, attractive, or happy. Their identity is forged internally based on their personal achievements, rather than being a reflection of digital approval. This makes them less likely to chase trends or compare themselves to others. When your happiness comes from within, the need to broadcast it to the world disappears. They have what psychologists call secure self-esteem. There is a big difference between fragile self-esteem, which requires constant validation to survive, and secure self-esteem, which is steady and resilient. People who don't post photos often don't feel the pressure to prove their worth. They don't need 1,000 likes to feel validated because they already feel complete. Psychologists say people with this kind of emotional balance are less anxious, less approval-seeking, and more focused on real-world goals. They would rather be known deeply by a few people than be admired superficially by many. They use an internal locus of evaluation. This means they judge their experiences by their own standards, not the standards of the crowd. Instead of asking themselves how this dinner or this vacation will look on a grid, they ask themselves how it feels in the moment. They are often more introspective and analytical. They think before they speak and they post only when something genuinely matters. They prefer authentic conversations over superficial interactions. This cognitive trait allows them to find meaning in the experience itself rather than the evidence of the experience. They are acutely aware of the digital illusion. Psychologists call this social comparison theory, the idea that we constantly measure our own lives against the highlight reels of others. People who stay low-key online are often protecting their mental health from this toxic cycle. They know how easily social media can distort reality and how exhausting it is to keep up with the performance. By staying out of the spotlight, they avoid the trap of envy and the constant need to look perfect. They choose peace over performance. They value the present moment over the digital memory. There is a psychological phenomenon where the act of taking a photo can actually impair your memory of the event. When we focus on framing the perfect shot, We outsource our memory to the camera and detach from the experience itself. People who don't post photos are often more engaged in the flow state. They are fully present in their lives, feeling the wind, hearing the music, and connecting with the people across from them. For them, the memory lives in their mind and their heart, not on a server. They understand the power of mystery. In a world where everyone is an open book, there is a natural authority in being a closed one. Psychologists have noted that people who share less are often perceived as more confident and self-assured. They don't feel the need to explain themselves or justify their choices to the world. This independence makes them seem distant to some, but it is actually a position of strength. They create their own world instead of needing a circle to validate it. So, next time you notice someone who never posts their pictures, do not assume they are hiding something or that they are lonely. They might just be more grounded, emotionally intelligent, and self-aware than most people online. They don't need to be seen to feel seen. They have a richer inner world, sharper intuition, and deeper self-awareness. Sometimes the people with the strongest minds walk alone for a while. If you are one of these people, or if you know someone who is, understand that this behavior is a sign of a unique mental makeup. It takes a certain kind of strength to be bored, to be alone with your thoughts, and to solve problems without looking for a crowd to cheer you on. You are not better than other people, just different, shaped by a desire for authenticity in a world of filters. If you want more psychology videos that explain your personality in ways school never taught you, hit that subscribe button right now. We don't just scroll through lives here. We decode the human mind. See you in the next one.